Setting up ClickUp was the easy part, but keeping things organized when the work starts, that's where most teams struggle. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can keep a crystal clear workflow for every team member when things get busy. Today, I'm showing you the 5 workflow essentials that turn your workspace from a simple checklist into a streamlined command center for your team. We're looking at a real life example of a coffee rating app. I'll show you how a task lives from start to finish within a project as we build a new work-friendly feature. If you want to master team collaboration in ClickUp, you need these workflows. So let's go. And before we start, just a quick note. For this tutorial, I'm assuming you've already set up your environment. If your workspace isn't ready yet, I recommend starting with my ClickUp beginners tutorial first, and then come back to this video to master these workflow essentials. Let's begin with mentions and team tags. In this scenario today, we've created a task to implement a work-friendly filter. If we open a task, you'll see that the description is already neatly laid out by our team. And in the activity thread, you can see the ongoing conversation in between me, the product manager, the senior developer, and the UX designer. We use @ to mention specific individuals, and this automatically triggers a notification for them, making it easy to track on important comments in your inbox. Now, a quick best practice tip. To make this work, you will have to ditch all your other communication channels. So stop using the Slack direct messages, WhatsApp messages, or internal emails for project work. Our rule is simple: if it isn't in the task comments, it didn't happen. By keeping everything here, you create a permanent searchable history for your entire team. And a little pro tip: if you look under the notifications bell in the right top of the ticket, you can see that follow is by default selected. This means that I would be notified on every comment added here. If you work in multiple teams and big projects, this can quickly become quite overwhelming. So I recommend to unfollow. And this means that I am only notified when I am actually mentioned in a comment, or if a comment is assigned to me. So just do not spam everybody's inbox. I will do this for every team member. You can see that the moment I click on a team member, this person is automatically moved to an unfollow status. I'll unfollow everybody, and you can see that the default is moved to unfollow. Keep in mind that this setting is only done for this individual task. Unfortunately, ClickUp doesn't have a default setting where you can automatically unfollow everybody in the comment thread. For a more permanent solution, you can set up an automation that automatically unfollows all your team members within a newly created task. If you are interested in this automation, be sure to follow my channel, as I will be dedicating another video which walks you through setting up this automation. Another pro tip I can give you is create a team. As you can see, I have set up a development team within this environment. And if I now create a comment and mention the development team, this means that everybody in the development team will automatically be notified. To set up a team, you can navigate to the sidebar in your environment where you will find teams. Opening this, you can set up a new team directly under the drop down here. Okay, we just navigate back to our development space. Back into our coffee rating app list, I will now show you a real life example where we utilize the comment section and its functionalities with our team. I'll quickly jump over to the UX designer's environment. The UX designer creates a comment where he mentions me, the project manager. He found out while he was testing the photos look a bit grainy on Retina displays. So the moment the UX designer posts this comment, you can see that when we jump back to the project manager's environment, a notification appeared in my inbox. Opening this, I can see that I am mentioned within a comment. I can directly jump in the comment thread from here, or open the ticket by clicking on the hyperlink in the top. After reading the comment, I think it's definitely out of scope for our current sprint, so I will mention the UX designer and ask him to create a new task for this specific issue. Let me quickly do this again and this time show you a little trick where I select an important part of the text and you'll now see that automatically a quote option appears. Selecting this embeds his exact words in my reply and automatically mentions the UX designer. I will mention that this issue is out of scope for this sprint, but we can't ignore it, so I'll ask him to create a new task. I will post a comment, and since I pressed reply on this comment earlier, you can see that this automatically creates a separate threaded reply. In this case, I expect an action from the UX designer. I want to make sure it doesn't get lost in the comment thread, and for this we can use an assigned comment. And by assigning the comment to the UX designer in this case, and that transforms this comment into an actionable item, which must be resolved by the UX designer. When we jump back to the UX designer's environment, we can directly see that he has a notification in his inbox and an assigned comment. And a very handy feature within ClickUp is this icon right here. I can instantly see from the UX designer's perspective that a comment is assigned to me. And there's a shortcut to view this by clicking on this icon and I instantly see in a pop-up what comment is assigned to me. In this case, we open the ticket. I'll open the unread message and I see the assignment from the product manager. And this brings us to the next tip where we transform a comment into a new task. So after reading the comment from the product manager, I'll scroll back to the initial comment and press the ellipsis, the three dots in the right top. This will open a menu where I can choose to create a task from this comment. I'll jot down a title. I don't need to tag the product manager in this case. You can see that the task will automatically be created in our start status to do, and that's fine with me. And I got the option to instantly assign somebody, set a due date, a priority, and add tags. In our case, I am happy like this and create the task. So you can see that it asked me to post the task in the thread. And doing so, everybody can see that I have transformed this common thread into a task. The hyperlink to the task is automatically added by ClickUp, and I am now done with the assigned comment, so I can resolve this now from the UX designer's perspective. We jump back to the main thread, and you can see the communication is neatly listed under a single comment, keeping your comment thread clean and tidy. For the next tip, task links and dependencies. Let's pretend that fixing these grainy images is so critical that we actually can't finish our main task, the work-friendly filter, until this issue is resolved. So let's have a look at the task we have just created here in the list view. And by opening it, you can already see that automatically after converting the comment into this ticket, there is already a relationship to this task. That's the one that is mentioned in the comment. To go a step further, we can ensure that this task is being picked up before we complete the work-friendly filter. To do this, we can navigate to the right side of the task, the More section. Opening this, we can create our dependency where this task is blocking our main task. So when we click on the blocking dependency, we can find our work-friendly filter task in the list. If we click on this, you can see that automatically a blocking dependency is added. When we now close this task, you can see the blocking dependency icon in the task we've created from the comment. And in our main work-friendly filter task, we can see that there's a waiting on dependency icon shown. And similar to the assigned comment icon, you can also click on here to see where this task is waiting on. And this functionality becomes especially handy when you got a long list of tasks and a multifold of dependencies. And next to this blocking dependency, we can also create a relationship, which you already briefly saw earlier in the ticket. This time I'll be working from the work-friendly filter to show you the other way around. The waiting on dependency is shown here, where I can remove the blocking dependency. Instead, I might want to create a task that is linked, a link relationship, where I select a task that we've created from the comment. You can now see instead of a blocking dependency, the task is linked. Just keep in mind that the difference in between mentioning a task in the comment section and actually linking the tasks, that linked tasks this way are bidirectional, so shown on both sides. However, if you simply mention a task in the comment thread, that reference will only appear inside the task that is mentioned in the comment. And our last tip, status hygiene, is the secret to keep a clear head by making sure your list and inbox are up to date. Let's say our coffee rating app has 20 tasks sitting in progress, then we aren't actually moving, we're just overwhelming ourselves. Be honest with your list. If a task is stalled, don't keep it in progress for too long. This is actually a sign that you might need to adjust your statuses. For example, your tickets remain in progress, but you're actually waiting for feedback. This is something that often happens, so it might actually be a good idea to add a waiting status. So let's now just move these in progress tasks to our waiting status for review. Or if your main list is getting too cluttered with future IDs, then you might consider creating a backlog list. After creating this list, we can move these future tasks out of sight. Moving them to a backlog is a strategic reset. It keeps your cycle time accurate and ensures your to-do list reflects the real velocity of your team. As a final takeaway, I can recommend to not over-engineer your environment. Start simple and lean using the bare minimum. Maybe just to do in progress and complete, and you only expand the statuses when you hit a specific pain point. By scaling organically, you ensure that your ClickUp environment stays helpful instead of becoming a digital junk drawer. Plus, when your environment is set up correctly and accurate, you can keep a crystal clear oversight and actually tell the truth about your project's health. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you are ready to master ClickUp, make sure to follow my channel as I'll be posting weekly new videos. So let's keep building on your productivity together.